name is Kayleigh, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to assemble and wire up your sub box for your 2nd gen Tundra. Alright, so the hardware you're going to need for this install is going to be your terminal cup kit. It includes some screws, your terminal cup, and some 12 gauge wire. You're also going to need some additional 12 gauge wire to make the connections for your subs. Alright, so now I can go ahead and lean my box forward. Alright, so first thing I want to do is go ahead and grab my terminal cup and flip it over. I want to take off these nuts on the very back. Alright, so now that I have my nut and my washer taken off, I want to make sure to hold my terminal in place so it doesn't fall. I'm going to go ahead and grab my 12 gauge wire and connect my negative to my negative terminal. Place my washer and nut back on top. Alright, and then you want to go ahead and repeat the same steps for the positive. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the hole on the back of my box, slide the wire in. I'm going to go ahead and drill that into place using these small screws. Okay, now I want to make sure all 4 of my screws are tight, and then I can flip my box back over and go ahead and start on my subs. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start with our sub installation. We're going to go ahead and take this piece of cardboard and lay it upside down on top of one of the holes for your subs. Alright, included in the box with your subwoofer, there are these foam gaskets, and you're going to stick them on, lining them up with the holes, and they should fall together like puzzle pieces. Alright, in this next step I'm going to be making my jumpers for my subs. I'm going to take my 12 gauge wire, and I'm going to make jumpers for my subs from voice coil 1 to voice coil 2. Go ahead and measure it, giving myself a little bit of extra room. Now I can go ahead and pull apart my wiring. I'm going to come over here and strip away about a ½ inch of insulation. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my negative to my negative and my positive to my positive just by pushing down on the voice coil. And then for right now I'm going to leave this side loose. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my 12 gauge wire. I'm going to slide my subwoofers back a little bit so I can reach my hand in there. And I'm going to make a jumper from this side of this voice coil to this side of this one and run it through my sub box. Alright, now making sure I give myself a little bit of extra playroom to work with, I'm going to run to my outer voice coils. Alright, so now I'm going to take the other end of this jumper and this jumper that I ran through my sub box and strip away about an inch of insulation on both of them. And now I'm going to go ahead and twist together my 2 negatives and my 2 positives. Now I can go ahead and insert those. Alright, so now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab my 12 gauge wire running from my terminal cup. I'm going to bring that out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also grab the jumper I made earlier, and on each one of these I'm going to strip about an inch of insulation off. Alright, so now that I have all of my insulation stripped off my wires, I'm going to go ahead and start on the side with my terminal cup. I'm going to twist together my negative and my positive and positive. And now I'm going to go ahead and insert the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my wire running from my other sub and this jumper wire here, connect those 2 wires together and insert them into my voice coil. Alright, so now that I have everything wired up properly, I'm going to go ahead and install my subwoofers. I'm going to start off by flipping it over, that out of the way. Alright, so now I want to make sure that my sub is straight and it is also centered up and down and left to right. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a marker and I'm going to mark where I'm going to drill for my subwoofer. This will make sure that my sub is properly centered and make it easier to put the screws in place. I know you can't really see it, but I also want to pull my sub out and make sure my holes are evenly placed, and that will tell me whether or not my sub is centered. And I'm going to do the same thing for all of the dots I made all around. Alright, so now that I have all of my pilot holes drilled, I'm going to go ahead and take the longer screws included in my terminal cup kit, and I'm going to go ahead and drill them into place. Now I'm going to go ahead and snug this one up. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert the rest of them like I would a tire. I'm going to go here to here, here to here, and here to here to make sure I get even pressure. And then I'm going to go back through and snug them all up completely and repeat the same steps on the other side.